Okay, maybe we're disconnecting and reconnecting a couple of times. Let's see what's happening here. Gotta wait for ads to finish. I'm trying to watch the stream now, and it's just ads at this point. Okay. In theory, we're a go. That seems like it should be fine. Let's click into it. Are we up and running with anything? That's the real question. Let's clear that. That seems to be doing nothing. It's looking fine on this end at the moment. Oh, I think we're good. I just got to get it to actually load. Yep. Looks like we've been back for maybe 60 seconds. It's hard to say. Katooth's confirming that we are back. Okay. Alright, let me drop the banner. Let's pop back in. Alright. I'm going to have to watch that back. I think I maybe Nostradamus to that. I said the words, all we've got to do is try and survive this storm, or whatever I said. I drew some attention to the fact that things were getting big and a bit hairy here. And then as soon as I said that, I looked over at OBS and I saw it had disconnected. So the real question is going to be whether I got that on the stream before it disconnected. I'm going to have to watch that back later. Yeah, I think we're okay now. I think that the storm is dying down a little bit now. So that was probably the one big disconnect that we were going to get. But it's been a long time since we've had a stream split into two parts. That's going to be fun. So I've done nothing except play around with the stream and the computer and stuff while everyone's been gone. So welcome back, everyone. Current objective is to survive this Australian thunderstorm IRL, because the tunnel's basically completed now. Oh, I don't think I heard that clearly. Okay, well, we'll find out. Interesting. So I'm just noticing, because I logged into Twitch on my phone in order to check to see if the stream was actually coming through live again. So I'm seeing Katooth's chat on my phone, but I'm not seeing it on OBS on the computer anymore, which is a little bit worrying, but I guess that just means that it's lost sync with the chat somehow. Let me do a test. What if I type in here? That comes through, yep. So that's text that comes through. Oh, we've got the now live thing in the chat again. Okay, sure. Because that's come up several times now. So I can send chat from OBS. Anyway, we'll keep going and we'll see what happens. It'll either be good or it won't. Hopefully we don't do a heap of stuff and then it all just doesn't get recorded. We could just have a giant time lapse. So I feel like that maybe needs to change to one of these sideways purpley ones. Like that. There we go. So just to keep the illusion alive, so threading up the drop here, and of course there's no way I can thread that now. You know, it looks you're gonna see that it keeps going a bit, so I wanna kind of show that it keeps going, but then just like have the plummet, because I think that'd be funny. The chat message appeared before you were typing, as saying it seems like time travel. Ooh, that's weird. So that just, I guess that shows the delay in, well, it's not the delay in audio, it's the delay in stream versus chat, because what I'm saying compared to what I'm doing, yeah, yeah, what I'm saying compared to what I'm doing should be in sync. Like, you know, I'll be pointing at the moon and saying, look at that moon, right as I'm doing what I'm saying. Like, everything in-game is synced. But yeah, the chat being external to the stream is probably delayed or not delayed compared to things. Anyway, so all I'm saying is this needs to get moved another one back through again. And another one. And another one, and another one, and another one. So that this looks like this keeps going with like more to it, but it's not gonna keep going. What was I up to? Yeah. So this is like 18. On 18. Okay, there's 10 more. So it looks like it's got another 10. It keeps going. When you're back inside, I mean, it's nighttime out there at the moment, so we should, if it were daytime. You know, I wouldn't put another portal here, but we could put like something there to close this off, you know, as though it was heading somewhere. You know, so what is this? This is 27. Okay, so you know, you do that. 27. There you go. So looking into it, you see the bright purple squares. Yeah, the square ends of them, because that's what the tunnel's currently doing. And you can see that from down here somewhere. There we go. Alright. So we're walking it. We've come out of the portal. In fact, let's go through the portal. Let's do it. There we go. So we're in here. Ooh, they've all synced up now all of a sudden in OBS, because I've now seen everything. Yep. What have I typed here? Guess I'm delayed. Chat isn't. Just make it go forever. I mean, I could, but it'll also be an eyesore in the sky. But look at how unassuming that is. It's just like, oh, it steps up. Great. Steps up and whoop. No, it doesn't. So, like, it just stops eventually. So, all we got to do is maybe just tidy the external silhouette up a little bit. Oh, make it look like the sky or clouds or something. Oh, it's brilliant. Brilliant. Make the bottom of it sky blue with clouds. So, how could I color match that? I mean, sky blue only works in the daytime. I'll give you that. But still, I love that. We've got to make sure we can't see it through that hole. But, yes. Let me put a uniform bottom on it to start with. Move it all higher so it's at cloud height. I could do that, but I don't know that I want to risk breaking and reconnecting the portal. Adding one extra block to width, I'm perfectly happy to do. Resizing the portal where it is. Relocating the portal? That's a bit more of a dangerous job. blue. Figured if I type in sky, I might get something that looks like the sky, but could use glass. I mean, we've got light blue concrete, blue shulker boxes. Can't use concrete powder. We could use blue wool. Let's try a few. I don't think I could carpet it. Ice wouldn't look right, but I'm going to get it anyway. And the stained glass. Like, carpet works on the top of things, right? Can I carpet underneath? Not really. But that's fine. We could have that. We could have that. Because it's all about how this looks at ground level. This is a nice one, the ice, because it's got like the white in it like clouds would sort of have, but I doubt you'd see that from ground level. Glass has got the unfortunate grid pattern effect. It also casts a shadow on the ground, because obviously optics. So far the ice is the winner. Ice is closest to the correct colour. The others have got tinges of green in them from this perspective. Yep, we're making it all out of ice. So, since we can't work out what button I'm pressing now, since we know that blue ice is the one to use, do we do packed ice or do we do regular ice? Because that was blue ice. Yeah, we need to do some on the side as well. Yep, you're exactly right. Gotta cover each of the each of the 5 sides of this cube, this cuboid. Getting myself all messed up with perspective. Oh, this is a bit transparent, this one. Yeah, you're right, a fake cloud, like paint a cloud on part of it. I could have a nice white woolly cloud or a snowy cloud or something up there. Yeah, the transparent one is problematic. The packed one, the middle one, this packed ice block, actually gets a bit white. The blue ice is closer to the blue of the sky. So I think we stick with that and maybe think about painting on the cloud. Uh-oh. The fake ice is melting. That's also another determining factor now. Yeah, ice is just ice. But packed ice and blue ice, they shouldn't melt, ever. I did not even think of that. Oh, speaking of water falling from the sky. Here's the rain. Oh, hang on. You've got to be careful here. We don't want this bit to be visible. So maybe just like that. There's like no chance that you'd see it. I mean, you'd never see that because you're walking this way. Actually, I don't know how you'd see any of it, if I'm being honest. I can still see water falling. Let's add a bit of time onto the day. Another spam thing. Let's get rid of you. Now that we've like reconnected to Twitch and going strong again, all the bots are going to come back out. Oh, wrong way. Okay, obsidianing up, not obsidianing, icing up the sides, just to keep it hidden. Excuse me. I know I've got to do the big sides. I'm just doing the smallest sides first. Alright, just going down to have a look from the ground. That's nearly made its way down. We should have clear weather for best effect. So yes, we can see the black sides still, but you know, subject to the sun being directly overhead and breaking the illusion, that's not as bad as other things could have been. Painting a cloud in there will definitely help a bit. Let's do these sides. And these should be done by a fill command. Fill that from there up to there with packed ice, not packed mud. That would be weird. Okay. Is that? No, it's not packed ice. It's blue ice. That's better. Good thing I noticed the different colours. Whoops. Fill there. To there. Right. Good enough. We probably should just fill some obsidian at the top here. Rooftop pool. Yeah, could have had the ice, the variety of ice that melts on the top. Okay, now we've got to think of cloud material for underneath here. So, in fact, let's get rid of these lights and everything. Whites. So white concrete, white wool. Can't do concrete powder. Can't do shulker boxes because that's silly. Stained glass could be interesting. White terracotta is not even white. Wool cheese. No such thing as cheese. We do have yellowy things though. Like if I get out the wool blocks, we could have grey for clouds instead of white. If I get out the concrete blocks, like we've got white, but we could have light grey. Can't do concrete powders. If I get out the glass blocks, you got white, and you could have light grey. Can't do panes, but let's do a combination of these. So some clouds sort of look like just like that. I could be doing snow actually. That's what I was talking about. Snow block, but it probably falls, doesn't it? It's probably a gravity block. Yeah. So some clouds look like that. Some clouds look more like do a bit of that. Other clouds are just something like that. Alright. Yeah, the problem is always going to be the lighting. So, the shadow around the clouds too is disruptive. Do regular clouds let the sun through? I believe so, because they don't cast any shadows. Regular clouds are transparent blocks, just like the glass, which is why a bit of the blue comes through. I'd say the wool is actually doing the best job. It's slightly brighter. Need light blocks behind the wool. Yeah, instead of the ice. Now that's smart. We could put glowstone behind there. Would that do anything though? I just sank accidentally. Yeah, like a gigantic cloud. In which case this blue is pointless. The blue is just for the sides then. So let's get a bit of this back on the inventory. Excuse me. If I just put in glowstone, like, does that do anything at all? Because the light can't pass through those blocks. Alright. Oh. Yeah, the shroom light things. So, like, let me go the yellow one. Frog light. And let's add a bit of time back on again. They are. The problem is you can see that they're squares because they tile. Like, they're not as seamless as as the wool and the concrete. These have got like a definite border edge. And that's using the big white side of them, not the stripy side. I think we're back into gigantic cloud territory. I think this is make the bottom of this whole thing white concrete, maybe. Maybe white wool, maybe white concrete. Let's go up and do a massive fill and go back down and have a little look. Now I'm going to need to know where to poke the hole through in a second, so I'm just going to put that there. What about shrooms with glass in front of them? The problem with the glass, though, was that the glass also did the squares. But yeah, no, I get what you're thinking there. If the glass was seamless, that would break things up a bit. But yeah, the glass was the squarest looking of the lot of them. Glass panes, on the other hand, connect seamlessly, but panes are only vertical. You can't have them horizontal. So we're going to do a fill on the bottom side here. We're going to fill from here all the way up to here. And we're going to do it with white concrete to start with. And then we're going to repoke this hole there. Perfect. Okay. So I know it's not a cloud shape yet. I should have done my Australian vertical. Standing upright. That would be even harder to think through. Also harder to walk around. You know? That's plausible. I just need to make it into one of these weird elongated cloud shapes now. Like, maybe it would be better if it was wool. Oh, I didn't paste the invisible lights I could pin up. Don't know about invisible. Can I build a used car lot beneath it? Yeah, because the wool was definitely brighter than the concrete. It did have a bit of texture in it, though. So fill there to the... Oh, hang on. Fill there to there. No, to there. Okay, I've got that on paste now with white wool. Okay, and now we just carefully punch our hole there. Okay. It's brighter, it is textured, but it is brighter than the other one. We're also in the worst possible time at the moment, where the sun is directly overhead on the cloud. So this is the darkest it will ever be. That is the absolute darkest it can ever get. Interesting how there's dark patches there and there, and light in the middle, because a bit of light escapes the tunnel. It is pretty dark, but realistically that's as bright as it's going to get. Well, that's the brightest block we can use, and that's the darkest time of day. So this is the worst of the best case scenario. Having the sides made of ice is almost pointless at this point now, but anyway. See, like, even just something like that. Just a huge sort of stubby L shape. Try full cloud of the shrooms. The problem with the shrooms was that you could see that they were squares. This is a seamless connection. Maybe dot some shrooms among the wool. Okay. Yep, like dot a random yellow frog light. This isn't called yellow, this is ochre. Alright. Yeah, like just stick one of these here and there. But do the white side, like 3 in from the end. Like that. Oh, wrong way. Just to help things along a little bit. You don't notice them hugely, and it has stopped the black patches there. Like that is a much more uniform shading throughout the whole thing now. So we could do that. Alright, I say it's time to make the cloud shape. Let's go up there and actually make a cloud shape out of this. And I'm liking that one that's currently floating overhead at the moment. Just a standard big L-shaped thing. We just broaden it a bit in some of its directions. Okay, ooh, that's white wall banner. That's not at all what I wanted. Fill that. Down to here. Oh, that's the first time I spawned something that I was inside of. And now we make one bit elongated. Doesn't really matter which, because they all bend their own ways. Oh, the way the actual clouds are translucent. If you could do the same, you could make the actual thing a light source, then build the cloud 10 blocks below it. Oh. Oh, I mean... Trouble is we've begun that now. And also, it then becomes a dropper. Because we're dropping down this hole here. And if the clouds are 10 blocks below it, there's a risk that you fall down that hole and land on the cloud. Yeah, the problem is that we still just don't have any good cloud blocks. That's realistically half of the battle here. Sort of out, about there. Oh, that's way too stubby. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, so let me fill from there to here with white wool. Okay, sun setting, which means this is also the worst time to be looking at this, because it's now, lit against a dark sky. Are there actual clouds? Can you go and click them? No, those clouds aren't made of blocks. You just phase through them. They're a visually aesthetic thing. Why is the shadow still directly underneath it if it's sunset? Don't question the physics of this. Next, you're going to tell me that this world is not actually round, and that it's a giant flat disk with a sun and a moon that just rotates it. So, yeah, things get weird at night time, sure. We'll accept that. But at daytime, when the sun's on its way up, you know, that's kind of where we're at. So we need another light over there. That's starting to look cloud-shaped. We can do more bits coming off it, like this bit that's got like a whole boop boop boop. Like we can go zip zip and have another bit vip coming out the middle of that side. You know, it's a bit bigger, but that's just because it's a bit closer. So I say, so we need another light in the middle there. I say we do another bit coming out of this side. It should probably match like this in terms of position and amount and stuff. I'm just doing all this by sight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Nice. So about 10 blocks out, and don't tell me it's 10 blocks wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's actually 11. But that's fine. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. So about here. Fill from there out to here. White wall. So it's now got that sort of jutty shape, and then we need a little lamp in the center of both of these. So once upon a time it was 3 back from an edge, but now that's actually 1, 2, 3. It's actually 5 back from an edge. And it's offset now. But 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's got the issue that we need a block above it to place on. And then, whoa, look at the shadow it's making now. Okay. Destroy that block. Alright. More lamps, maybe. I mean, I'm not sure if I'm going to like the fact that that's out of alignment with that. We might have to move it. But that's more central with that now. And the same thing here. Does that line up with that hole? Sort of. Whoa. Oh, I'm dropping. It's because I'm looking up and trying to fly. It's getting me completely bamboozled. This is 10, the other one was 11. Ah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, but again, we need to go above. Put in a thing. Go back down. Take that out. Put a thing up against it. Go back up. Take that one out. Right. Yeah, so there's still shadow under here. So it's like an S-bend of shadow. So you're right. We should maybe just doing that. We'll mostly fix it. Would have just made the whole thing a shroom. I know. It's got a bit of texture to it. Looks kind of fun. I mean, it's not like we're going to be looking at it constantly. We're going to be at this height, looking at stuff down here. And it's just going to be, oh, there's a darker cloud in the sky than all other clouds. You know, it's just a thing. that's up there. For what it is, I think it's probably acceptable at the moment. We could definitely do a lot of things to pretty it up a bit more, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Alright, and if I get my bearings north, so it's that way we're actually facing. I think I got my north-south mixed up at some point. That's back to the mainland there. This is up this way. So I want to see where things start to render in now. As I head south from here, let's not do it diagonally. Let's actually head south. He says as he proceeds to continue to do it diagonally. Because we made this a little bit bigger now. So it will survive in the sky for longer. And then it disappears by about here. So now we're fine, It's just a couple of blocks. You know, if I go down at ground level, you can't even see it. You know. Oop, there it is. So it just starts to load in here. It gets the outline, the transparency outline, because it can't render what the block is that far. It's like we're just seeing through the world. But back here, yep, it just disappears. There we go. Right, it just blinks in and out of existence right about there. Okay, happy with that. Once again, let's go for the full experience. Let me take the run through the thing. So we pop down here. We're like, ooh, yay! Let's follow the stripy things. I may have missed some of the lore. Yeah, this is the back rooms underneath Australia, right? It's yellow, isn't it? Not this colour of yellow at all, but and then we come through here. Ah, look, and there's just more of it, and whoops, and we fall out of this one. Right, so I'm quite happy with that effect. Why are you dumping people in Northwest Southeast Asia? Because this is not the globe anymore. We need to get outside of the render distance of Australia so that no one can see the second build. Surprise! There's a second build coming. Australia was not the only thing that we were building. Let me face north. And let me go to my overlay things. Where were we? So we had a primary objective. It was this thing. Let me put it down here. That was our primary objective, and we've achieved that. Build a scale model of Australia, one block at a scale of 10 kilometers. What I need to do now is consult my other reference materials, which I've forgotten to have on hand. So I'm going to have to awkwardly open folders and look for files and things now. What am I looking for? Minecraft resources, that one. This one. Is this going to mess with everything now? No, it's not. Okay. let me just have a quick look at. So that's, I'm going to have to check all of this again. I wasn't prepared for this maths. So yeah, enable edit. So you guys are just going to look at some boring nighttime Minecraft footage whilst I play around in another window here. From there to there is 200. So from there to there is 200. So let me think that through. There to there. So where are we? So we've got like divided by 3 is like 66. So that's like 33. So is that about 30? What's that? That's 8. Yeah. I think it's something like 30. I might be wrong on the maths here. Let me have a look at that. That's that. This is made of 5 of those. Oh, 25. Yeah, if that's 5, then that's 25. 37. It's a bit dodgy. It's a bit dodgy. I think the scale is going to be completely inflated depending upon if you're looking horizontally or if you're looking vertically. I need to get a ruler out and actually check this now. This is going to be stylized quite heavily. Yeah, I think it's not going to matter for our purposes, but let's go to this. Don't do that. Yep, do that instead. I hope this is. I should put up the be right back thing, because it looks like we've just frozen, but you can hear me talking. Sorry for taking so long there. Let's say. Let's do. And what's the symbol for approximately equal to? Can we get an approximately symbol in here? There, insert. Yeah, good enough. Okay, where's Minecraft gone? There you are. Add some time. Oh dear, and it's raining, but not where we are because we're under a cloud. Let's add some more time, and it's night time. So it's more time, and I'm going to get completely confused. Let's weather clear. Alright. Where's the sun? There. Okay. That's at least a bit better. That's how clouds work. That's how this cloud works. It's exactly where the rain is not. Alright, so now that I've got that set, we can update our primary objective. So we were building a 1 to 10,000 scale model of Australia. Ominous music beginning there. Whew. Our second primary objective is to build a 1 to 30 scale model of a suburban area, where one block is of the order of magnitude of 30 blocks. You know, the maths is getting pretty hard to sort of pin down here because I've taken a completely different approach to this one. The Australia over there, down there, where you can't see in the south, that is the south, isn't it? Yeah, Australia down in the south there, was built geographically with all of the exterior coastline being to scale. Then everything on the interior just was whatever it had to be in order to fit my, aesthetic leanings. This is completely inside out. Instead of having an external boundary perfectly to scale, and then having weird roads and stuff on the inside that are all just whatever, because I'm now going to map out a suburban area, excuse me, the roads are effectively now playing the same job as the coastline of Australia. The coastline of Australia is what gave it its definition and shape and form. Here, the suburban area is defined by its road network. So I've got the roads mapped out for exactly where they need to go, and everything else, all the terrain has to fit around the roads. So the scale's defined on how far apart the intersections and things are, and how long the blocks are, the residential blocks, but that's going to create distortions of its own kind in a lot of different ways, because my roads are going to be 1 block thick, which means they're 30-meter thick roads, so they're going to take up a inordinate amount of space. Some roads are twice as thick as others, so they will be 2 blocks wide and will be therefore 60 meters across. So there's gonna be weird scaling effects, but I think the best I can do with the scale I'm gonna build this at a 1 to 30 scale is that I've got to make those kinds of allowances. So we're gonna have the opposite sort of thing. We're gonna have like weird contractions and expansions and stuff between the roads, but the roads themselves should be fine. What I want to make sure now is that we don't build this in such a place where Australia starts to appear, or where this starts to appear from Australia. So this is like as south as I can go. If I face north, yep. So going too far south and things visible. So where this is dropping me should be at, like, let me go to my map. Should be like at the bottom of this map somewhere. Really? Yeah. Maybe we need to make the corridor longer before the drop. Nah, it'll be fine. A little more leeway on the render. So we're just going to build this from the bottom of the render. So that... Oops, and of course, again, we've now got nighttime. There we go. So this will be the lowest point. So let me make the drop and then stick some stuff in the ground so I've got a reference point. So I'm falling, and I'm placing blocks directly below my feet. There we go. So that's what I've landed on. Okay. So we fall out of there and we smack bang into this thing. Okay, so that's our reference. Okay. So continuing more northward from here. This is not going to be built with the same sort of grid system as before. We ain't doing that. What we will do is place down a bunch of, let's just say, we're not going to use grass because this needs to have a more residential feel to it. What I think we'll do, like, we'll still put down dirt under the water. And I almost need to check how this looks with Australia because I've completely forgotten. What happens with Australia and water? The grass is sitting on top of the water, isn't it? Let me fly back to Australia and just check this out. Because I wouldn't want this to be different somehow. Yeah, so we've got dirt under the water. So there's like 3 layers of water. And the 3 layers of water are 3 layers of dirt. No, the grass is flush with the water. Okay, because the grass is the top layer of dirt. So there are 3 layers of dirt, but the top one is the one that grew the grass on it. So there's like 2 dirt and then a grass. So just so that this isn't just a thin veneer on top of water, we should have 2 squares of dirt, and then we should have our surface block. Okay, so we're just going to lay down the, there it is, there's the pillar coming into render. We're going to lay down roughly the space we need. Okay, so we need some dirt. Then we need to be thinking about what our top layer is going to be. So if this is going to be, let me say, roughly here somewhere, then I need to be able to go, left about 60 blocks and right about more than 60. $65. Yeah, 65. So I may as well go left about 65 as well then. That's like way more than we need on the left, but that's fine. So let's go 65 to the left and 65 to the right from here. So let's just so I've got a little bit of scope here. Alright, so from here we need to go 65 that way. So this is our X that we're modifying. Yep. So from here, and we're going from 58, 57, 56. So we're gonna fill that to the same coordinates but with dirt. Okay, and we're now going to do our maths. So we need to go about, what number have I been saying? Is it 65? Is that the number I've been saying? Let me check it. It is. It's about 65. Okay. So we need to be traveling about 65 in the negative x direction. So I could do 62 really. So let's go to 140. We're going to have to come up to, in elevation, so that's negative 56. Z is fine for now. Okay, that's done a bunch that way. And then we need about 65 to the right of here. So we're going to add 65 to this, which, you know, we just go up to 70. And again, got to come up to the 56. Okay, that's about our maximum width we're going to need. And then for height, like the Z direction height, this needs like, well, 87 is what I've got mapped here, but let's say, you know, 90, let's even round that to maybe 100, because it's not going to start till like about here. So, yep, let's take this out to 100. So let's go from here fill from here to here with dirt. No, let's fill from here to up to here with dirt. But we want to add about 100 in that Z. So we're up to negative 514. So we want to go to negative 614. Let's try it. Oh, slightly too big. Okay. So 564. And then we're going to go to 614. Okay. That should be the full extent of what we're going to need for our suburban render. There we go. I hit the button that was like reset all things in OBS, and it's just put everything back on. Oof. Okay, we were briefly in a mature stream with a spoiler warning for then. Yeah, that was the mature content banner, that was the spoiler warning banner, all the Overthunk with Sharky stuff turned off. Don't worry about the weird glowing effect here, that's because of the glowstone pillar I used. And we get into night time, so I'll add a bit of time back onto this. We're going to have weird shadow effects down here, but that's just because we have a opaque cloud above us. But anyway, I don't think I can do anything about that. Like, once I remove this glowstone, let me use this blue ice in its place. Something that doesn't emit light. This whole thing's equally under shadow. You know, that's just the bleed through shadow of that. Okay, so this is it. This is a much tinier build than Australia, because of the nature of this scale. Doing it at this scale, so that, for what we've got, means that I'm only like 100 blocks sort of across and things, rather than like whatever this was, like several hundred or thousand something. Made the ground out of glowstone. I can't do that. The ground's got to like resemble. So obviously there's going to be road blocks that I'm going to have to try and base on the roads from over there. So keep that theme consistent. I'm probably going to use grass blocks for like literally grass fields and some ovals and stuff like that. But for everything else, where there would be houses and shops and buildings and stuff, I can't build houses and shops and stuff because at this scale it just isn't going to make sense. So instead I'm just going to have the ground coloured like, I don't know, like concrete white or something, like industrial, just sort of residential, whatever. Something that just symbolises that this is town here. Like glowstone. Let's have a look. I feel like it's too busy. When you're walking around here, there's way too much to look at. But maybe something with a subtle light source wouldn't be terrible, now that you say that. So we should think about any blocks that give off light. I was thinking of like a white or a grey or something, but yeah, anything that gives off light. So I don't think there's a way I can search for that. Not easily in creative mode. So I'm just going to scroll through all blocks and get a bit of inspiration from the types of things that give off light. So these are all just building blocks. Sea lanterns give off light. I think redstone might give off light, but I'm definitely not building out of redstone. You asked Google for a list. Sea pickle? I don't think sea pickle's a block. I don't want listed copper things. Sea pickle. Yeah, sea pickle. Well, it's called natural blocks, but sea pickle's a thing. Lava, no good. Beacon, no good. Happy to take more things from Google. Glow lichen. Glow lichen is like vines. That's not a block. That one's no good. Amethyst cluster. Yeah, you're getting all the weird things. Amethyst clusters are spiky things, not actual blocks. Crying obsidian. Sure, but we're definitely not making the ground out of that. End crystals, that'd be hilarious. Yeah, we can't do any of the copper stuff. Ender chest, not doing ender chests. Same reason we didn't build things out of shulker boxes. That would be especially weird. Candles. Brewing stand. Now we're just getting into blocks. like into items, not even things. A jack-o'-lantern. Oh. Yeah, the pumpkin jack-o'-lantern things. Nah, we couldn't do that. Orange would look terrible. What's that? Block of raw gold. Shroom light. That will probably look just as bad, but I'll get it as a test block. Yeah, there's our jack-o'-lanterns. Honeybees. Blocks of resin. So we've got our frog lights and stuff again. I can get them back and we can just test them out. Sea lantern, frog light, redstone lamp. Yeah. Sea lantern. We've got the frog lights. Redstone lamp we haven't got yet, but that's going to be coming up. Redstone lamp. Yeah, there's no way we're doing a redstone lamp now that I look at it and think about it. Dragon egg, yeah, we're not making the floor out of dragon eggs. We've already ruled out glowstone. We can't do copper bulbs. End rods, they look like lampposts. Yeah, exactly. People use end rods as literally as lampposts. Are you saying we do that instead? We literally put street lights down some of the roads. I was not preparing for that at all. Interesting. Huh. Let's go to the darker area. Okay. New solution. We use end rods as lampposts, and we don't make the floor out of anything that glows. We make the floor out of something concretey, like I was originally thinking. All right. Sold. Like, and again, I gotta be careful now not to use road colors. Light grey concrete. Hadn't even gotten to the skulk sensor. And I should be doing this somewhere where it's bright. Or I could be putting one of them down. Like, that's dull and dreary, but maybe gets the point across. We don't want anything darker than that. Do we do concrete powder? We could, but that looks like a road surface. I feel like this is just more industrialized a bit. It's visible from the ground if you put them under your cloud. Oh, what, to light the cloud up? Because you can stick them on the sides of things. This is a creative solution that I was not even thinking of. In place of the frogs. What about in place with the frogs? For now, at least. I mean, yeah, they're a pinprick. They would solve some issues. They would really solve some issues. These are the hanging lights that were foretold. Oh, even better. They can hover. They don't have to be attached to something. So let me just start by replacing everything that's a light source and seeing if they light up more or less than what the frog lights were doing already, and we can work out how many more we do or don't need. They look like they light up less, which is fine because I can put more of them in. Also, it's because it's like end of day. Yep, we can add a few more in. I'm trying not to be too weirdly geometric about this, but this is what it is. Yep, literally one light level. If you put them on every tile, are they brighter? Well, yeah. The more I put, the brighter it's going to get. But I mean, it's almost fine. Like they give little flickers to it. Like you can't tell what's going on. Like walking around here, like there's like weird flickery holes in the cloud or something. And if there's way too many more, it'll start getting distracting. But it's done a pretty good job of like mostly smoothing it out. Like, yeah, 15's the max light level. Yep, I'd say that's quite reasonable. Let's add some nighttime. So when we're at full night, not that we're ever really going to be needing to look good in full night, but you know, you could definitely fill in those darker patches with more of them. But that's got, you know, a fake nighttime cloud, because there's no such thing as nighttime clouds in Minecraft. That's got a fake nighttime cloud looking reasonable. And then in the day, it's slightly darker than regular clouds, but it's acceptable. So down here in the regular realm, we've got concrete. We've got concrete powder, so we've ruled that out. The other one is terracotta. Ooh, yeah. So grey terracotta is super dark. Cyan terracotta is going to have a hint of blue in it. What are the other sort of solid colour blocks? No, not steel. A stone. Stony sort of things. Where was your smooth stone? Did I completely go past that? No, it's literally the first thing. Because then there's that sort of smooth stone. So you've got like... That's got a bit of texture in it. Cyan terracotta. Grey terracotta. I'm settling on light grey concrete, really. I think the original thing, light grey concrete, is closer to what we want. What if they hover, you could fill the entire sky with them, light up the regular clouds too. Marking electronically submitted handwritten tests. Now wanting to apply all these techniques to the shadows on people's paper. Oh dear. Yeah. Electronic marking of handwritten tests. I remember those days. Ugh. Hopefully the online learning platform and things is a little bit better these days for handling that sort of stuff than it used to be in the past. Everyone has an almond phone shadow. Exactly. I know that feeling. Alright, I'm going to replace everything with, what is this? Light grey concrete. That's what I'm looking at, isn't it? Yeah. So let's go literally this corner here, and we're going to be wrapping things up soon. Let's go here. Fill that to the other corner. With light grey concrete. There. So we've still got the dirt underneath everything, so it's not just floating. But now we've got cold, dead, you know, this is the land. And we'll deal with shadows and everything another time. This is where we land. what I want to do is get rid of all these other things so I'm not distracted. This is concrete, right? It's a very boring time all of a sudden. No, that's fair. I mean, so was Australia when it was just dirt or just grass. It needs stuff on it, and it's going to get stuff on it. Stairs. What's the best stair color that is going to match in with this concrete? Is it the polished tuff? It's not going to be polished andesite, surely. Maybe I want one with the stone squares on it. Let's get the andesite just in case. And I'll just do a little bit of lighting just because I don't want the fact that it's dark to ruin this. Excuse me. Alright. It's not the best, it's not the worst. What if it was instead made out of this? Not really much better. What if instead that's acceptable. What if it was just stone? I think the stone is just the winner here. Whoop. Getting some weird effects now. Yeah, I think plain old stone is the winner. So, where's my water? Water bucket. And that needs to be like stone as well now. Oh no, it could be light grey concrete. I'm adding water where water does not need to be added, but okay. If all has worked as intended, we now have a safe landing spot for a player if they were in survival mode. Just because, I mean, I'm building this in creative mode, but if a player were to walk through this in survival mode, you probably don't want to be killing them. So they've come through here. They're like, do, I'm going to go this way. Whoop, no, I'm not. And as long as they don't move, they survive that fall, and I feel like they're a block ahead. So it's a good thing that I made this a little bit wider. Okay, great. So that's your dropper. They can land there, and steps is good because you can waterlog steps, and you can walk out of them without having to jump. You can just walk straight through them. So, glass panes for safety. Oh, like a little glass railing around here. I could do end rods for safety, but that would be a bit ominous, maybe. Glass pane. Light grey stained glass pane. That. What if it was on the fence? Not on the fence, on the stairs. Oh, that would be risky. Like, that's a proper sleeve to land in now. Plus we need a way out, which would be this side. But I don't mind that. Oh, no, up in the air. Oh, like a little funnel to fall through. I don't want to have a Futurama pipe running from the top straight down to the bottom here. Glass everywhere except there. Yeah, no, I know. The problem is then it's visible from the ground. Like, the whole cloud and everything was to hide what's going up there. I don't want like a slightly visible... Oh dear, another spam person. But I see what you're getting at. But yeah, some sort of a nice sleeve to keep you going would make sense. Add a bit more time back in. Whoop, that's a bit of concrete. Not that. Let's go up here and add a bit of white glass. Not seeing any spammers at all anymore, so Twitch seems to be improving its monitoring. Maybe you're streaming so little they've all been flagged on other channels first. Maybe. There we go. So that's a little guardrail there. Okay, just like a little sleeve that you can fall through. Ow. And like, yeah, the problem is you can see that. Like, it's not a problem, but like, you know, I don't think that adds anything. Like, if I went back up there and did the fake fall through it now, that's not gonna like stop me from wandering or anything. It'll flash by in like a second or two. If anything, I can even see it. Like, if I'm walking too slow, like, you can see everything. Like, the illusion, like, having the yellow block there was helpful for that, but you almost need another yellow block here. And even another. But, I mean, then, how far do you go? Like, it's sort of, it's like, do, whoop, whoop, whoa! And then the sleeve's already gone past. We've hit the water. We hit the center this time because we didn't move. We've got nice barricades, so if we try and walk out in the wrong direction, we can't. That's not me jumping either. That's what the stairs are trying to do. And we're fine. So it just forces us forwards. So I think I'm going to delete these sleeves up here. Yeah, need another layer of yellow. I know. It means I'm going to have to do some funny stuff with the cloud if I do that, though. Have the cloud jut down for a layer. Now we're coming from this way. It's this one that you'd need to replace with yellow and then jut things down a bit more. You know, like that. you know, you've now got like a clear extra bit there. You'd have to drop the whole cloud layer down. Why is your floor yellow, not frog? The important questions. Because this yellow was once upon a time a continuation of Melbourne. That was just the floor theme. The walls were frog. Because we needed light sources inside, and something stripy with multiple colours of light sources seemed to create a little bit of interest. Okay, so with that coming through, make the floor frog once you come through this portal. Yeah, I could make the last bit of floor frog. That's fair. What I want to do before we wrap this up any moment now is just tease the start of this, and of course, because why wouldn't it be, the start of this is the start of this is a road that's 2 blocks wide, not 1. So we're coming out of odd symmetry straight into even symmetry. So at some point, fairly soon, we suddenly need to have a 2 thick road. And it won't be this colour, don't worry, I'm just doing that to remind me of where it is. But we land our dropper, we come down here, we land, and we're like, oh, what is this road over here that is ever so slightly offset from where I am? You know, maybe I need to make it deliberately like across and not line up with this at all. Make it like, you know, over here. So I think land there, and like, oh, road. Let's go over to it. That might actually make sense. So that'll leave us something for next time. We've got our primary objective. That's some template blocks there for the beginning of new road. Don't need any more of that. Don't need any more of that. That's our concrete. There's our end rods for whatever purpose our end rods are gonna be serving for us. Outside of just lighten things up a bit more. We'll try to put them on some of the streets in obvious light post fashion. But let us hop up on this glass and call it here. We're supposed to be making a thumbnail to close, aren't we? What's the thumbnail going to be this time? I can't do a map of Australia thumbnail. I can't do a map of this area thumbnail. Cloud. Yeah, what did we spend most of our time doing? Is this episode mostly the cloud episode? Or is it the tunnel episode? Actually, if this video gets split into 2, I'll actually need 2 thumbnails. So maybe we do a cloud thumbnail for the second part, and we do the other one. Rainbow Road thumbnail for the first part. So something like this. The only way you can tell you're even in the nether in here, apart from the fact that you went through a nether portal, is that every now and then you get purple effects, particle effects dropping from the sky. So something like this. Oh, let me take the objective overlay off the screen. I'd say this. Is it just me? Are we tilted? I feel like we're on an angle. Like, that's not level on the screen. Maybe it is, and I'm just going completely mental. That feels like that's leaning down to the left. It could just be the weird perspective of the hallway. Alright, let's do a flicker, 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 flicker thumbnail shot in there somewhere. Okay, somewhere in there is a thumbnail. And then let's go back through. Look at the cloud. Hop. And it's night time. Something like that, even. Okay, there's a thumbnail in there somewhere. Alright, let's hop on this bit of fence and stand here and say, this'll do. This is where we'll load in next time and call it there. Alright, and with that, thank you everyone for tuning in for yet another week there. We will, as is tradition, not be returning next week. We will roll the dice and see how long it is before we get back to continue on with the mystery that is this next residential area here. Won't be next week, could be the week after, but if not, might be 3 or 4 weeks, just like last time. So thanks again for tuning in. Skeevers may be back before me, so she might be popping in for a stream later on in the week. We will see how things pan out. Don't hold me to that. Don't tell her I said that. But that has been another stream to be Overthunk by Sharky. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you all, whenever it will be, in the next one. Bye-bye.